Very good morning, everybody. Nice to be here today. Thanks to the moderator, coordinator, Dynamic Raja, and everybody, my dear students. Earlier days, we were talking about the vocabulary, the celebration of life, expressionism, the child in you, transformations, and many other different points. Hope it would have gone into your mind and unconsciously, subconsciously, many things starts working in your mind. And we were talking about the enlightenment. Are we enlightened? We don't know. How do we know? Your mom will know whether you're enlightened or not. Believe me, more than you, your parents are working towards it. And they started talking to many of their relatives, and their prayers are very serious. And if at all, by God's grace, if you get the admission SRM, believe me, all unknown people will become the known people. All enemies will become friends and relatives. She or he will start talking, my son, my daughter, SRM. All these things they will talk. Now, that is the happiness in life. That is the celebration in life. Let's pray all good things happen and let us get enlightened. And today I was informed by the organizers that the scale and human figure is going to be discussed. The scale is not only in terms of proportions or no whatever you draw, even the scale of thinking. Your thinking process should be bigger. Whatever you think, you become. So you have to think big. You have, in that case, I'm sure you can achieve. There's I don't know the name of that fish, and if a fish is dropped in a small tub, it grows to that size. If you put that in a sea, it grows so big. No, even your thought process is like that. Varavai kandan vimanam padaithan. So that is how our thinking process goes on. For all these things, you have to work. You have to exercise. You have to try. முயற்சி செய்தால் சமயத்துல முதுகு தாங்கும் இமயத்தை, he said. So this shoulder, this back mudugu will lift the Himalayas. You have to make an attempt, and nothing is easy and nothing is difficult. It is all in our state of mind, for which you should believe in life, the reality of life. The hard work definitely pays. And I know I was told by Professor Raja that there's about 300 serious aspirants in this training session, and there's only 80 seats available at Katangulpur and 80 seats at Ramapuram. That's all. We cannot give more. And it's definitely a race, and it's a big competition. It's a tough challenge. And whoever is blessed by the parents of the Almighty will definitely get it. That is what I believe, for which it needs a good association. Your environment, you should be with a good environment, good set of people. That is what Lord Buddha said. Buddham saranam gacchami, sangam saranam gacchami. What is that sangam? Sangam means the association. When your association is very good, you will achieve whatever you want. With whatever ways the association takes you, it may also take you good or another way. So also you see that Narendra become Swami Vivekananda. The Siddhartha became Lord Buddha. Siddhartha from Pondicherry, from Kanchipuram, he traveled and he got enlightened under the Bodhi tree. And then he started preaching. Now today, a kind of ism called as Buddhism has come into. So today there's a lot of isms: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Christianism, anything. A lot of isms are there. This was he was a prince, right? He left his family, he left everything, he left his kingdom, he walked away, became a saint, and started preaching the philosophy. And today, there's a whole ism is being practiced across many countries, mostly also in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, and many other places. This ism is being practiced. You can also be anything of that kind. Today, many creators is being made that way. You see Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Ramar, Krishna, Baba, or anybody like that. Is all who are they? They are all people like us only. They are born into this world and they try to achieve, and they achieve. It needs a lot of passion, interest, and seriousness towards it. It needs an aspirations in life, so for which you should get transformed from one form to other. So transformation is the one what we were looking at it. We were also discussed. So, so your environment and friends decide you, who makes you believe in yourself. If you can, you can. And special thanks to Raja for his untiring works and all the team of Professor Arvind here, who has done this 10 days amazingly. Even I also got an opportunity to talk in front of you for some time for all the 10 days. It's a so amazing experience. And let's see how much of us are very grateful to meet each other at SRM. Thank you so much. All the best. See you.
Thank you, Dean sir. Your speech reminds me of Abdul Kalam's words also. Let us dare to dream and take off on wings of fire. Thank you so much, sir. Now I give the dais on to dear Professor Anjan.
Okay, very good morning, everyone. Today we are actually in a beautiful day again with lots of energy and excitement. And it's a little bit of a, I'm just going to see you in SRM, surely. But it's a day when I'm actually, this is a day where we are actually going to end our classes. Interaction which I had with you for the last 9 days was fantastic. And, I have learned so many things from you. And I have improvised my attitude and skills because of your, your way of living and your way of, seeing the way of seeing you for the last 9 days. So let us go to the class directly, and I share my screen. Okay, let's celebrate the. Let's celebrate life. Today, we are actually going to talk about a celebration in drawings. When a celebration in drawing comes, like when a celebration in drawing comes, say for an example, all of you are actually, all the girls are fond of gold, and all the boys are actually fond of bikes, for an example. It is a thing which is always there in our minds, okay? What happens if, for an example, tomorrow there is nobody is there in the world actually? You are the only one person who wants to actually go and pick up a bike, or you are allowed to get into jewelry, Kalyan jewelry, and get everything you want to. So what will be your reaction for that? That is a question. That is a question which is asked. Because the reaction will be, see, you will not be taking anything because you have no one to show. Okay, you are no one to show, and you are not going to take a bike because you are no one to actually carry, or you don't have a place to actually live in. So what is the problem here? All the buildings, all the natural elements, or all artificial elements which is existing in the world is for human. That's very, very important. If there is no human, there is nothing actually is there in the world. Everything is actually, you see Bhagavad Gita, or like you go to Bible or you go to Quran, everywhere they actually emphasize the importance of a humankind, okay? They emphasize the value of human beings, and everything is actually, related to the scale of human, okay? That is what is actually happening. The scale of human is determining every object. The liveliness or the celebration of life only can come through the celebration of human figures, or through the celebrations of the artificial ones which is made by the human. The human scale is a very, very important thing, because we all make everything for human scale. Whether I actually, like I actually go to a kid and I give you a small car, then I go to a person who is 20 years old, 25 years old, and I present him a big car. I have a son, my son is 4 years old. Now I actually give him a BMW or a Benz, what will be the reaction for him? The kid Benz which I give you, a small Benz which I give him, he'll be very happy. The scale is determined by the child, okay? So you have to understand that. That is what we are actually going to teach today also. It's a very simple lesson which I'm going to finish today. And I'm going to take you through how the NATA is actually asked. There are very important aptitude questions to be answered. And I'll tell you how to actually attempt the 3 questions which are given in NATA, okay? So that is the idea. And I wish you all the best for the orientation program and for the written test which is going to happen, in the subsequent days. And I wish you all, I want to see every one of you in SRM. I hope it actually happens. Thank you. This is a human figure which we actually see. You can take a sketchbook and you can just, mark yourself. This always, the human scale is divided into 8 parts, or for Indian conditions, it's 7.5 parts of the head which is there. So you always take your, human scale in this way. All the time you actually take a scale and divide that into 8 parts or 7.5 parts, and try to actually visualize the entire fabric of a human. Okay, you can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. I'll tell you a video because I made a video of sketching. Then I'll actually show you that video so that you can understand better. Before that, we'll actually go to the slides and see how it is actually working. As you can see, this is a human width, and the proportion has to be actually understood properly. So that is the reason why this human figure is taken here. After that 7 parts, I have actually taken this as small angle here and small angle here. This is the proportion of a human. Okay, then we actually can convert that human into, there are lots of people, I'm not telling this for a great sketchers, it is for the small kids who are not able to actually sketch. They are very difficult for them to actually sketch a human figure. But I tell you, in the world, as I have told you about Shah Rukh Khan and myself, it is very, very simple. It's you think your head as a sphere, think your neck as a cylinder, think about your body as a rectangular cuboid. When you start thinking in that way, you will be able to actually understand this concept very well. Here we can see the proportions are actually created using this small, the width and the height of the person is actually been created. You can keep on trying this, then you will be able to actually understand this in a very well manner. Now I tell you, there are some activities which I have put up, and these activities actually can create, can be created through the axis which you move with your line which I have actually given you. I'll show you a video, and we can actually talk about that little more. Okay. Can you see the video now? Can you see the video, moderator ma'am? Ma'am, can you see the video?
Yes.
Now I can see I started actually moving my pencil. See, this is, I'm moving my pencil and dividing that, vertical line into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6.5, 7.5. Like I've actually made 7.5 of it. Now I'm actually putting a sphere, that is a circle, like a circle or a elliptical form. Then I'm actually creating a neck. Now I'm actually creating a width for my entire fabric. So the width is actually created. Now I'm connecting two widths, the hip and the shoulder. Then I actually connect my lower parts of it. Now the lower parts and the legs are actually drawn with proportion. You actually start drawing with proportion. And I have actually drawn the leg also. I'll tell you how to make a leg, in the this thing. So this is how I have actually made the leg. Now I'm making the hand, one hand which is there, flowing down, so that you can understand there are 3 points which I have put up, and try to connect the 3 point with my legs. You can see the proportions are actually coming together. Then another hand which I'm putting it to my hip. Okay, so that you can understand two different two different ideology for a hand. So this is we are started decorating it, you can understand. Then a small proportion which is being drawn for your eyes, nose and mouth. So this is actually done, like almost we have actually come to the fabric of the entire scene. Okay, the vertical axis is there, we have created the vertical axis and the width. So now we are actually drawing the second one, which we try to draw the same kind of a proportion we will take. Same, you actually take the same kind of a proportion and draw your legs. So you can actually, practice this at home. So you have done. Actually, I have a sound. Yes. Why Vaishnavi? What is the problem? Her lady is actually formed now. As you can see, there is a girl which we have formed now. So it's a very simple logic, you know, like when you think about geometries, it is very, very easy. Actually, you can understand geometry and you can make everything very easily. Okay. So you just start making everything according to what I'm trying. See, you can actually see the proportions can actually make you a better person, and you can see that a very small logic can actually make a side one. So you can easily actually make people with your proportions and ideology. It is just a practice which you have to make, and try to understand that geometry is very, very important. If you understand the geometry, it is very easy for you to actually make. First we have made a male, and we have made now another a girl. Then now actually trying to actually make somebody actually, you know, walk. So you can see the side view of the person, same kind of a proportion is again taken. But you know, like if you are there in the side view, automatically you'll get some kind of a projection. Try to imagine something and, you know, try to fix it up, and you can actually add up lots of you know, fabric also to that actually. So by that, doing that, you can actually have one girl and boy, a small kid, or you know, like a person with a hat. Now you can actually add up so many detailing to that person. Now you can actually make him go down. So you can see that, you know, like how we can actually, you know, take one point. See, this is an axis which we have to understand. The axis have some points, you know, in our life, in our human body, we have points which moves actually. You know, we have the limbs, we have the knee, we have the hips, we have the neck, and we have the head. Okay, there are the points which are actually making a pivotal role in actually, you know, moving. So try to analyze those points within that 7.5 or 8 times, then try to actually bend it, or you know, do the same thing. It is very simple that the vertical line which is there has to be actually put it as a perpendicular line, or you know, you have to put it as a horizontal line. If you put it, it actually always, you know, it makes us think that, you know, it is too big and all that. It is not true. It's very simply you can actually make everything. It's a very simple logic which you are actually going to do. So a small kid also, you can actually draw it in a smaller way. There is absolutely no problem. A person who is sleeping also can be done. So if you can analyze and understand the fabric, and you actually turn those axes on the scale, then you can actually make anybody sit, or you can make anybody actually, you know, work on that entire fabric. It's very simple. So this is the idea which I wanted to put it to you. So you watch this video, and we will actually, you know, so that you can, I think with this video you can understand everything, and it's easy for you to actually, you know, get onto this fabric. Whenever you are using the pencil, as you can see that I'm using a very, you know, bold pencil which are rounded this thing. So whenever you don't actually sharpen the pencil too much when you're actually going for sketches, you try to actually get a flattened one, and you can actually go through your this thing, like, you know, net and all that. I'll send you some videos. In that video you can actually see the how the pencil should be kept. You know, you have to have different kind of pencils. You know, like whenever you have different kind of pencils with you, you know, the way you actually sharpen the pencil, or you know, trim the pencil, if you keep the pencil in a beautiful way, then you can actually do wonders with your pencil. The pencil can give you lots of shading. Great artists in the world are actually like that only. So it is not a magic or something like that. It is just a practice. You keep on practicing it, you can actually do wonders. I have seen lots of you know, bats. I was not a good sketcher in my college time. You know, like I was a good student who actually studied from 11th standard, 12th standard. Then, you know, I went to the architecture college. I was not a very good sketcher. But today I could relate, because there are two kind of people. One people who are yesterday Shakti also was talking about it. There are two kind of people. One people who actually relate geometry with their sketches, and they make wonderful buildings and wonderful, you know, sketches. There are some people who have the born quality. If they have a born quality, you also have a born quality in something else. Actually, you might be a good speaker, which is very good for architecture. You might be a good technologist or a mathematician because it's good for architecture. You might be actually a good coloring person. It will be good for architecture. So it is not only one skill which is going to make you a good architect. It is going to be other skills also. Like here we have made this beautiful lady with chudidar on and all that. Like you can make a slide shading a chap. Because the classes were less actually, so you have to know how the shading has to be done. Like try to understand where is the light coming from. The brighter side will be absolutely bright. That is the first thing which will happen. So you try to understand. I think most of the sketches which I have seen in the group are also like the problem is you are not understanding how the shading will be done. You are all like just shading it like that. See, there are 3 or 4 kind of marking which you have to do. One will be the brighter side. One be the in the earlier class I have told you about this. One will be the brighter side where the light is actually thrown. The second will be the lighter side. That is the second one. The third one will be the another little darker side. That means the shade will actually go little slow. Then you have the surface which is hidden. That will be actually little darker, and the shadow will be really darker. That is how you have to actually identify and do. That is how you get good marks in orientation and all. Try to actually do all these kind of a small little. This is not very, very simple logical things which we are doing. If you can do these buttons and pockets and all that, it will be easy. You can always do. But I tell you, in Nata, when you are actually sketching a 1-point perspective, don't go for too much of detailing, okay? Because you'll not be actually having time. Try to render it and actually finish it off as soon as possible. Just make small renders. Don't actually make bigger renders. If you actually keep on rendering too much, then what will happen is you'll actually lose your time for the examination to get finished. So make sure that you actually do this and you finish everything on time. So try to actually make some detailing and try to understand that like everything can be actually done through sketching. Everything can be done through geometry. So please understand that very clearly and try to learn the art of sketching. It's very, 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 very simple. I'm absolutely simple. You try to understand this, then you can actually make wonderful sketches. Okay, I'll send you some other videos also of people who are actually lying and all that. As we are having a little time, so I have actually given you this. This entire scene actually can be formed I say, like now it's looking so big or so wonderful, but it is all done with a small straight line. Okay, so you can do it. You can see this in a beautiful way altogether. You try to understand and you'll get everything. So this is the way you actually make people who lie. So I'll send people walk, people run. It is just those hinges which are there, the one which is bending in our parts, the hips, the head, the hands, the legs, all have some pivotal points. You start understanding those pivotal points. Sit at home 1 full day and you start working on it, and you will see. Those were the days when we were there. We were actually working with because we didn't have this Google and all these things, but we have worked with our basic pictures, and we took up straight lines, and straight lines, and like we tried to actually make this thing happen. So this is what you have to do. This is a very simple exercise which I have actually given you. Easily you can actually make these things. Okay, thank you so much. This is done, and I'll actually show you the other part of this video also, right? So this is done by us only. So it is you can I'll share that video, and you can see there are other videos also are there which actually makes the market and all that. So you basically make an outline. In all the sketching, you make the outline and make these things happen. Okay, so we'll go to the exercise, and I'll just freeze it off soon. I think I hope that it is useful for you, which I have shown you. I think everybody is unhappy. Nobody is actually happy. I think, is it useful for you, Nega? Meaning here? Yes, good. Okay, I think you're all experts in sketches. You don't need all these small things, Trisha and all. So, but anyway, like I've sent it for the basic people. This is all. You can actually do it with different proportions. You keep practicing this, because as I told you that it is very important. You can bring life to your building only through the human figures and the actions of human figures and the animals, or any kind of a truck or any artificial thing which has been done by So it's done by the people. So I can see that, you know, that the pivots I'm talking about, this is the ones which, you know, like you have to think, when you are actually making a basketball, try to actually understand this is the way you have to actually do it. So simply you do it that 7.5, or like, you know, if you're from North India, I feel like you're taller than 8 parts of your head. You actually think that, you know, like you can actually do this very clearly. Try to understand, if you actually jump, then what will happen is you will actually have more length, because it is just a jump, you know, so more length will be achieved. But don't actually get confused with the scale. The scale is not going to change. The scale is going to remain the same. Okay, so please understand that the scale is not going to change. What is the question? You can put it in the chat box, please. This is a proportion of again human. I have actually given, these are some photographs, you know, like you can see that, you know, it can be done with this small little hinges which I have actually. Vaishnavi, you can actually put it up in your chat box. Then you can see this, the foot which I have actually drawn here, like, you know, like you can see this small little trapezoidal pyramid which I have made here. So like this actually is done. Then this is a geometry out of, see, I am a person who was not a good sketcher. Okay, so I have related everything in my life through geometry only. Okay, I always relate everything to geometry. Like, you know, even when my wife makes a nice dosa or something like that, I always tell her, you have made a wonderful circle. No, it's like that only I actually, you know, put up, you know. So it's always good you actually, you know, relate everything to geometry, because a person who is not actually a good sketcher, this is for the people who are, it's a little bit of a motivation I'm giving. The people who are not sketchers, I tell you, the people who are not having good artistical skills, I tell you, it is good for you, because architecture is going to relate that with geometry. It will be very difficult. It will be very easy for you to relate geometry and put up artistical thing. Okay, so it is useful because you are going to start from the scratch, and it will be very useful for you, because as an architect today, I'm a very successful architect who holds almost around 700 projects. I tell you, I have actually related artistical works with geometry, so that I could actually, you know, achieve this. You have seen my work, so it's always very easy. So you can always relate. So we will actually ask you a very simple question. Is who designed IIM Ahmedabad? Today's questions are not going to be, you know, in a straightforward way. So this is a poll which I'm actually conducting. Who designed IIM Ahmedabad? So for you to increase your aptitude. 66, there are 80 people there, you know. I request everyone to actually put up this. Or like sleeping or something like that in the morning. Actually, you know, very slow cooling is actually happening. Yes, why are you sleeping, man? You are always like, you know, today it's a human scale and proportions class. So I have a little time also. So I am taking it very slowly. So maybe you are all sleeping because of that. Not happy with, I'm not talking about Shah Rukh Khan. I talked about Shah Rukh Khan also today. Yes, I think most of the people are going wrong. I request you to study aptitude very well, because Louis Khan is the answer, right? But you know, Corbusier, Charles Correa, BB Doshi, it's like an optional. You are going absolutely wrong. You should really work hard, because these are like the questions which will be asked in our SRM written test. Okay, so you please be very clear. So Reta SRM questions, you know, like when they ask these kind of aptitude, so you can be a good drawer, like you draw good sketches and you score. Because in sketching, I don't think they will actually give you a good mark, very good mark, you know, like they will give you good marks, of course. But aptitude, you can directly take that 1.5 marks immediately, you know, for a question you answer, you get 1.5 marks immediately. So make sure that you actually answer your aptitude very well. 75 marks out of 75 marks, you can take it in NATA. And of course, these aptitude questions, which are going to MCQ questions, which they are going to ask in the SRM also, it will be very useful. But you learn these things, you know. Louis Khan is a very simple question which I asked. You have to be very, very careful and, you know, answer these questions. Okay. Next, the human figure only. Continuously we are going how a person can actually turn and how a person can actually put up a weight or something like that. This is one thing which I want to talk about. This is the human figure in perspective. Very important lesson, which is, you know, most of the people make lots of mistakes in this, in your perspective, because your perspective can be determined only through your human figures. Because if I actually keep a human, like say for an example, I keep a human in front of a building, because we know the scale of the human, you can understand the scale of the building. Okay, say I actually stand in front of a tiger, then if I'm actually taller than tiger, then that means there is a problem. There is I am not a human. Okay, there is a problem. So you have to understand, when you are making something, you make it proportionally and you make it with a scale, because the scale will determine the scale of the building. Scale will determine the scale of the car. The human scale will determine the scale of the tree. Okay, don't make a coconut tree, which is supposed to be 20 feet. You make it 40 feet, and people might actually think that the entire building is actually 40 feet height, one floor, because it actually changes, like a window is actually, a door should be 7 feet. But if you actually make a double of a human or a lesser than the human, then what will happen? It actually looks like it is 5 feet. So try to understand. In perspective, what will happen if you keep on moving to the vanishing point? When in the VP class I was talking about this, when you actually keep on moving to the VP, then you will get reduction of these things. But make sure that you actually make that vertical line, which I told you in the video. Make that vertical line and divide that vertical line, and divide here also in the VP. Okay, keep on moving to the VP, you divide this. It might actually sound, I'm a great sketcher and all, but you do mistake in this perspective, then people will not give you mark. Okay, because this is very, very important. So you divide this 7 parts, keep on actually dividing, so that you can get these people. Here there's a human, here there is a human, here. Because of the perspective, the human is actually changing his angle. I've seen most of the people with the angle of the perspective, you go angle of the human also. Don't do it. It is all vertical always. We remain vertical. Here you can see this vertical person here, a person here, the room front. Are they actually of different scales? No, they are of no different scale. They are of same scale only, because of the perspective which we have talked about, the vanishing points which I have talked about. If you haven't seen my perspective class, you go back to your YouTube classes and you can actually find that what we are talking about. So this vertical person here, a vertical thing, the verticality will never change in a perspective. So keep on actually drawing that. Here also you can see the scale of this here in the perspective, and the scale of this the base which we are seeing here, the same kind of a base we are seeing here also. You can see this is a base which you are seeing here in the front. This is really huge, it looks so huge, but the same scale, same proportion and everything, this base is actually looking very small. Here the column is actually little slender. Here the column is big. It's huge here. Because of the perspective, you are actually seeing that, in your eyesight, if you actually look at anything in your life, then what will happen is the scale will actually get reduced going to the vanishing point. That is what you actually experience every day in your life. The train which is coming towards you, you will see a small train which is coming so big in front of you. Okay, that's what is the scale actually makes. In the human also it is like that. So that is the expression of a perspective which will actually happen. This is an activity which I have made because they asked lots of activity about playing cricket and all that. So you actually see that, a person who is actually putting up the ball, you have to actually analyze that 1 point or a vanishing point which you are making, 2-point perspective. You actually make a vanishing point and try to analyze the person who is actually bowling. You might actually think, people think, like the bowling person is actually of the same height of the person who has. Even the ball has to be understood very well. If there are 2 balls, then make sure that 2 balls are actually kept in a different way, because in perspective, a ball which is there on the nearer to the vanishing point will be smaller, and the ball which is nearer to our eye view will be actually bigger. So make sure that the human figure is properly drawn. Okay, I'll ask you a question. What is nave? A central hall of a church, a central hall of a forum, a sideways of the church and sideways of a forum. Some people are doing inky, pinky, ponky, father as a donkey. It's like that. Please read it very clearly. What is the subjects which I have taught you? In history of architecture, we have talked about this. All of you actually go back to your history of architecture slides and see what I have taught you. And you can see that entire plan of the Latin crossed, church. I have marked the points in that. Okay. You make sure that you actually read that. And I think 80 people are there. I think only 50, 60, I request everyone to actually poll first. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. That's most of the people have said that, it is the central of the hall of the church. The central hall of the church is called as nave. The sideways are called as aisles actually. So the sideway which is actually asked here, there is no central hall of a forum or a sideways of a forum. So it's like a sideway of the church which is called as aisle, okay? And the central hall of the church which is called as nave. They'll be asking this question in NATA on your SRM also. So human figures, again we are coming, the horizon line which is there to the vanishing point, how a person actually changes. If you think that this person is taller and this woman is shorter, it is not true. It is actually the scale of the vanishing point which is making this happen. As you can see, this human figures are actually drawn in proportion. This is a thing which is happening with Corona, and you can see this beautiful picture which has been drawn. By one of my Perspective Foundation students. Okay, I have a small little NATA pitching stuff that is called as Perspective Foundation. So this is done by that person, actually the student, one of the students. So in perspective and moving to the vanishing point, the scale and the proportions decrease, yes or no? Hey, some people are saying no, yeah. Like they didn't hear at all, it seems. Good. Yes, Trisha, you also said no? Trisha, you said yes or no? Yes. Yeah, thumbs up. I can understand. You can't mute. Just thumbs up. Yes or no. That's it. Okay, that's good. In perspective and moving to the vanishing point, scale and the proportion decreases. That is the lesson which I was taking. I think some 7 people who are actually having a beautiful sleep and they did not watch it. And some people say like, I cannot say because I don't want to say that. Okay, please prepare it very clearly because they might ask you these questions. Okay, so just prepare. So again, this is a tree which is having a 20 inches of a height. You try to actually understand with the scale of your human figure. Okay, it's a very simple thing. You relate the tree, the animals, everything to human scale, and car, everything to human scale, and try to understand. This is what you are actually going to do. Try to relate. Today you actually put it in the group. Actually, tomorrow we are actually today we are actually having the evening session normal, and we'll have a valedictory function in the morning tomorrow. So I request you to actually, check these things also. And in the evening, we can have a good Q&A question hour, okay? So I'll come to our architectural terms and their meaning. So you can actually see the slides. I'll put it up. You can take a photograph of also. Agora is an open marketplace in Greek architecture. So they'll be asking this. Aisle is a side wings adjacent to the nave in church, walkway in an auditorium. Arcade, a row or range of arches supported with columns. Architrave is a molded framework around the doorway. Attic is a room in relief. Baluster is a vertical supports in staircase supporting the handrail. I request you, each and every word you actually search in Google and search the picture of that. I'm just leaving it. I could have actually done it, but I'm leaving it to you because I want you to actually understand. Basement, underground story of a building, car parks. Beam is a horizontal load bearing members of the structural elements. Yesterday we were talking about. Buttresses, the projection in masonry to give additional strength to the building. So yesterday I talked about flying buttresses also in the history of architecture class. CAD means AutoCAD, like on this thing, computer aided design. So they might ask you this. Cantilever is a structural beam. Yesterday we were talking about that also in our building material. A structural beam or a slab beyond a building without a support. Chhatri is an umbrella shaped pavilion that is there in, the stupas and all. We have talked. Cornice is a decorative band of molding, which is actually happens with all the Roman buildings. You can see all the buildings, you actually have a small little, like decorative element that is molding. Curtain wall is a non-load bearing wall of either glass or a brick. Eaves means the lowest, most edge of sloped roof or a flat roof. Perspective is a technique used by the designers for representing 3D object in its relation to 2D shapes. Purlin is a horizontal beam in a roof resting in principal rafter. Yeah, it is the same. Flying buttresses means outside flies. That's all. No difference. Okay. Purlin, a horizontal member in a roof resting in a principal rafter. Okay. We'll actually have a good session. in the evening. A raft foundation, a flat wall footing in a foundation. Shikara is a spire-like structure, pyramid shape above the Garbhagriha of a temple. Stucco is a relief decoration on wall by molding plaster. Fresco is a painting in walls by application of pure pigments dissolved in water. Garbhagriha is the innermost part of a shrine. Gopura is a gateway to a temple. A lintel is a horizontal beam-like structure over door or window. Mezzanine floor is an intermediate main floor space between two floors. It's like in between. A skirting is the protective element. You can see it in your house. Just look at, then you will see that skirting which is done in the flooring. It's between the walls and the floor. That's a skirting. The space frame. Space frame is the rigid forms. Like you can see this geodesic dome. So you just put up geodesic domes and all in your Google. I can see this space frames, a rigid structure generally of steel or such metal members arranged in the dimensional. Then you have stupa, brick mounds with relief of Buddha kept in casket. I talked about that in History of Architecture. A tie beam is the lowest member of the roof truss. A Vastu Shastra means an architectural design principles according to the Hindu Veda. Vernacular architecture is a style of architecture peculiar to specific culture or a race or a locality. Acoustics is a style of study. Sciography is a style of shadow. Like sciography, they will be asking this question also. Acoustic, find more words, like you can actually go through this architectural term and their meaning and try to actually Google it and make a list of it, make a nice PowerPoint presentation. Even somebody can do it in the evening actually. Technical terms in architecture are abstract, form, collage, cubism, design, elements, emphasis, expression, liaism, form, fresco, impressionism, line, medium, monochromatic, mural, still life, value, warm colors, cool colors. You talked about all these things. The entire session actually, you also go back to the sessions and try to understand what I talked about abstract. First, shapes I might have actually talked about abstracts. Then I talked about form, like I talked about form, function and all that. So you just go back and see. Collage, there are people who actually made collages. So I talked about that. Cubism, I talked about cubism. I was talking about the squares and cube. Then architectural style, I called this cubism. I talked about what is design elements. What is an emphasis? I talked about what is an emphasis. I talked about expressionism. I talked about how to express expressionism in one of the slides. This form, you actually can form, functionalism, all these things which I've talked about. Fresco, already just now I talked about frescoes. You can see frescoes in our Sistine Temple and in St. Peter's Church. The early Renaissance period has given lots of frescoes. They call it Baroque architecture, Rococo architecture. So you can go back and see that. Impressionism. What is impressionism? What is a line? What is a medium? What is a monochromatic color? What is monochromatic color? Somebody can answer. What is monochromatic? Always everybody says like black and white. It is not monochromatic. One color based is monochromatic. Mural. What is a mural? What is a still life photography? What is a value in this thing? What are warm colors? What are cool colors? Okay, just learn all these things. It will be asked in all the questions. Will be asked in your NATA examination and for your maybe SRM question paper also. I'm just giving you a clue. So what you have to do now, so you actually browse for the architects and their buildings. So for an example, like Opera House, Sydney is John Hudson. So find out famous architects, famous painters, tall buildings, etc. Burj Khalifa, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, like, Burj Khalifa, Dubai, 800 meters, just try to get this numerical done properly so that, you have this numerical absolutely clear with you. Google for recent development in architecture. What is actually happening in architecture? They'll be asking this question, like awards, new buildings, etc. There are some new buildings which has come out. So like Pritzker Winner Award, B.V. Doshi, they'll be asking this kind of questions. It is like 1.5 marks, it's in 2-3 questions. You can score it very well. You can top NATA. If you plan it properly, you can top NATA and, you can do very well in your SRM written test also. Right, prepare for that, okay? I told you about this earlier, but I want to repeat. How do you actually answer an imaginary? You can take a photo of it, read the questions properly, take at least 1 minute for reading the question for imaginary questions, analyze the questions. Don't look around the web, try to imagine, perceive and keep it in your mind. When you are actually doing it now, don't actually look at the web, because web will be already having answers. Okay, don't actually look at the web. You try to imagine, perceive and keep it in your mind and try understanding the technical part of it. It's bird's eye view, 1 point, 2 point, worm's eye view, normal view or something like that. connect it with scale, balance, symmetry, rhythm, and other technical parameters. Make a basic drawing with focus on particular subject and construct outline. Always construct outlines. The way I've actually shown you that sketch, you always construct outlines and you can easily make it. Try to relate the building or anything which is being given to animals, human, tree, and other objects with proportional scales. Evaluate and use the bolder pencil to give them scale, shadows, light source, rendering, etc. Give values for the materials. Try to understand the smooth, rough, hard surfaces and render accordingly. Finally, check your vanishing points and lines. Always, do this. Vertical lines will be remaining vertical lines in imaginary line. So always, whenever you make a sketch, don't think too much about yourself. Check it again. Finally, check your vanishing points and lines created by them. Make sure they are aligned properly. If you have any doubts, you can give me a call or just message me. All of you ping me. So you can always ping me. Read questions clearly, carefully. Try, evaluate, and equate the materials with right kind of geometrical solids. Like it's a composition of solids, the 35 marks which they ask actually. So try, evaluate, and equate the material with right kind of geometrical solids, like Raja's head, Shah Rukh Khan's head, relate it with, some spear. So like orange, you actually relate it with spear. Make the construction lines again light to make subject clear. So make the construction lines light to make the subject clear. Whenever you are actually making a composition, you put up a light. Show the light. You just put an arrow and say that light is coming from this. So the examiner knows that you are actually understood the concept very well. So you put that light. Put that light on that state. Understand the composition and do addition, subtraction, and intersection of geometrical form and come to a final conclusion. Do addition, subtraction, or intersection. Try to understand that, try to understand how it is added, how is it subtracted, how got intersected. Give value for the materials, okay? Give value for the materials, always very important. If it is a steel, then give a value for steel. Give a timber value, give a concrete value. Try to understand all these things. Understand the smooth, rough, hard surfaces and render accordingly. Don't just render everything just like that. It will not give. Because if I actually make Radha and Krishna has to be a male character. Then I actually make Krishna as a beautiful blue colored person. And I make actually, Radha as a beautiful, like nice fair colored girl. So that's how you have to actually differentiate all this. Do not make any background scenes. It is a very important lesson. Don't make any background scenes unnecessarily because you will be losing your time on that unless specified, and focus only on composition. All the artists who are there, I tell you, kindly don't make any background scenes because the important object which is given it to you, just try to hatch it or render it so that the entire fabric actually looks very good. Check the light source and the angle. Always check the light source. They are talking about southwest direction. There is a sunlight which is coming. Just check it. Then they are saying that the light is actually kept in the left hand side. So keep the light in the left hand side and show it to them. Use bolder pencils to render and finalize the composition. Do proper shading and bold shading to create a scene. Always have different kind of pencils. In our perspective foundation classes, we always have this pencil class for one day with the artist and myself, because we always sharpen our pencils. We keep 10 different pencils. Have you seen this film Titanic, where he is going to actually make this beautiful picture of that girl? You can see that there's a bunch of pencils that guy has actually. He sharpens the pencils. So first of all, like DiCaprio, you also sharpen the pencil so that you can actually make a beautiful sketch. You keep on sharpening the pencils, keep it in your pocket. You always have 20 or 10 different pencils. They don't have any restrictions for pencils to get into your NATA examination. So you have all H, 2H, B, 2B, 4B, whatever is convenient for you. Keep it ready. Keep some pencil for the rendering actually alone. Okay. So keep it always ready. Okay, sure, sir. Thank you. Check the questionnaire. Questionnaire is very important. See, whenever there is a question asked, like you also ask your mom, you make a idli and onion chutney today, or chapati and paneer butter masala today. Say she actually makes a, kadai paneer today. Then, or she makes some, palak paneer. You'll get angry because I wanted butter paneer masala only. You actually made this stupid, we always scold our mom, you made this kadai paneer, or you made this palak paneer. Why did you make it actually? I wanted actually, some red color today with Kashmiri mirch and all that, but you made green color. So I don't want this food and all that. So you make sure what is the questionnaire wants. Okay, try to understand that. Stable or unstable. This is very important. They will ask unstable compositions. make it stable. I've seen some of the people who have made this beautiful paintings, you know, make it so stable. They're making it so stable. I think I tell you, other than the artist, they are going to get good marks actually, because they are making a stable composition with a proportion and scale. You know, that is very, very important. Try to make correct composition. Don't make unnecessary composition. Don't add any material. Don't add any components which are asked other than the questioner asked. Okay. Shapes. Try to understand the question very well. Form a logic for yourself, first of all. You know, form a logic. Say you are Amazon, I talked about, or any kind of a logic when you are making a logo, try to form it. It's a hockey team, then form a logic. How will they play and all that? So take some time to think, you know, just don't actually take a pencil and do it. The heart and mind should actually work, and that should convert into pencils, okay? If it is a design composition, try to do with uniform composition and try to get an illusion. Understand the color theory of the question and try to use appropriate colors. If it is secondary colors asked, primary colors asked, monochromatic colors asked, just do it the same way. Don't actually put up any extra color. If it is monochromatic color, then use only monochromatic color. Don't use any colors for any shading, please, because they will deduct marks for that. Try understanding logic and explain the logic through your pattern. There should be always an abstract logic. That is what is very, very important. Try to understand that. Put it, use concept like addition, subtraction, and intersection. Try to tell the examiner that you are actually trying to tell him the principles of architecture. Try to understand with color, texture, and shape, unify them, because, you know, different textures actually, you know, does not mingle properly. Try to understand this color, texture, and shape. Try to understand symmetry, balance, rhythm, and harmony. It's very important. Try to understand this. This is what you have to do. You can be a great music director, but if you don't actually give them a symmetrical or balanced or rhythmic or harmonical music, then they will not take it. So you always keep it. Always try to give a logical, creative solution. They are expecting that from you and not an architectural student. Try to actually understand that. Color them fine and take the borders bolder. Don't make backgrounds unnecessarily and waste time. Logo in the t-shirt and making the, am I there? I'm audible? I'm audible, moderator?
Yes, sir, very much audible, sir.
Don't make backgrounds unnecessarily and waste time. Logo in the shirt. Making the shirt is a waste of time. Okay, not a question. This is how they actually asked. Someday ago, you visited a zoo with the family. Draw the sketch of the zoo showing animals, birds, and visitors. Okay, now you can see the scale is actually playing a very important role, and the proportion is actually making a very important role as far as perspective is concerned. Try to understand the elephant, animals, and all that, so that you can actually put a correct kind of an answer. There's some answers which has been done by the kids actually, how well they can actually understand and perceive. That is the idea they actually ask you. I'm just leaving a blank face, you know. Dark one, but I will be always there, enlighten you, try to get you. I don't have any thought of the day. The thought of the day is I'm just going to miss you. So thank you so much for this wonderful time which you have given it to me. Today evening also we'll have a session, but I'll not be, you know, giving you a teaching through online mode, because you are going to be architects now. Maybe in SRM, tomorrow I'll come and take a class for you, and, you know, we'll have an interaction. Always Raja will be there with you, and you can always contact me for anything. Thank you so much for this wonderful experience which you have given it to me. And tomorrow evening we have the session with the speaker. Day after tomorrow we are planning for the validatory function. I request you, every one of you, to come and, you know, get felicitated and, you know, like make this thing also beautiful. Thank you so much for a wonderful time.
Thank you, Raja sir. You were awesome, and we enjoyed the past 10 days, and there's no questions about it. Your goodwill and your positivity shone through, and was kind of very much infectious to the children. And yes, we saw all that in all the rapport that had built up over the WhatsApp group, and it was amazing. It was lovely to see everybody's enthusiasm, and I think we rocked the past 10 days, and we thank Raja sir and Almighty and each one of us here for having made this collaboration wonderful. We have two wonderful speakers today from SRM. I would like to first call upon Professor Prashant, a young and dynamic faculty. He is both architect and urban designer based at Chennai. He is an alumni of SRM University. he did his bachelor's. He completed it in 2015, and he pursued his master's in urban design and development from Mahe, Manipal in 2018. 2018, he has been a faculty at SRM alongside his practice. So I call upon Prashant to share a few words.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope I'm audible.
Very much audible, Prashant.
Thank you so much, and good morning to everybody. First of all, I would like to thank the whole of the NATA organizing team and all the students who have been very vibrantly and dynamically taking over all these sessions from the past few days. Then again, coming up to summing up my experience with respect to School of Architecture and Interior Design at SRM University, I would like to give my thoughts more as an alumni than as a faculty here, first of all, because then that will help the students here to connect to a lot of things that I'm trying to talk about. So I've also passed out from SRM University in 2015. I completed my bachelor's here. So the main aspect I feel that everybody of you have to consider when you join a college, and with respect to School of Architecture and Interior Design in specific, is the most important thing is the excellence in academic standards that you have to take as a very important note and take away. That is because getting regularly updated is one of the most important thing that is the need of the heart. Let it be a national university or an international university. And with that note, I feel School of Architecture and Interior Design in specific updates the syllabus 3 years once, which is definitely very, very important for a field like architecture, which is a very creative field and which gets updated every once in a while. And then the faculties and the students are also bound to be apart to the global standards or the national, international standard that's going on. So that is one of the very important takeaway or the advantage that everybody will have here is the academic excellence. Again, which I leave it to you to take that how useful it will be for us to have an updated syllabus based upon which we can get to know more, and also it'll be easy for us to compete. Because unless and until we don't get explored to the things, it's really difficult for you to compete with anything that is not been explored already. So you get the chance of exploration here. The second thing that I feel that's very important is the availability of resources. I'm not talking resources only with respect to the direct mode, with respect to faculties and the professors, and you have also with respect to the digital mode resources that you have. You have the national level library here, and also the library is associated with a lot of digital library, digital forums here, which again gives you a lot of scope to stand unique. Standing unique is again a very important aspect once you step up from your schooling to college, because that is where that brings a difference in attitude and character, and also as a personality you stand out. So that is again one important thing. And the third thing that I would like to point out is the exposure that you get here. Exposure with respect to academics, exposure with respect to co-curricular activities, with respect to events that happens, competition that happens. So all of this is altogether and very important aspect to holistically develop as a person in a college. So all these things, I guess, is very, very, very vital when you join, when you shift from a schooling to a college thing. This personality development along with your academics is what will shape you up as a professional in the end, but not only the academics. So that is what I'm trying to tell is that the holistic development is what you will be facilitated here with, which I as an alumni felt very, very interesting. And back then, and the amount of improvement and development that SRM IST is done now. For example, now you're all getting a digital mode training from the past 10 days and you're all ready to go and give the examination. So this is the amount of advancement that you can expect here. And also with respect to the kind of, whatever kind of situation that you have, when there is spontaneous decision that happens, obviously the place is going to facilitate you a lot more than what you're going to expect. The last thing that I wanted to add is about the opportunities that you can get here. When I talk about opportunities, I'll be very specific to talk about School of Architecture and Interior Design here. So even when you're studying, you have an opportunity, you get the opportunity to go for national and international educational tools here which gives you an exposure again about architecture. Is a lot about self-learning and also learning from the college. So this self-learning aspect is also a very, very vital part that shapes up you as a professional and a student completely. So that opportunity is completely utilized here. And again, you have student abroad program. Student abroad program is again an opportunity where the students here are allied and then connected, collaborated to certain abroad universities, where for a semester you go there and study. So these are certain opportunities which you can grab and then which will easily make you stand out from the rest of the others. The whole competition now is that the number of architects passing out earlier were very less. So it used to be only 40 per college or something. But then now the intake is also increased. The magnitude of the number of schools of architecture is also increased. So the competition is not among the state or in the competition is always among the overall country that how many students pass out. So with respect to that, how do we stand out or how do we try to make ourselves unique? Both creative way and design thinking ways and very important aspect again, which you can shape it up along with all these things. So I guess this is pretty much something that I wanted to sum up. And the college campus and infrastructure is something again everybody would have already gone through it, but then I would like to again sum it up that infrastructure and college campus life is something that is definitely needed other than the academic regime that stays within, because all the studying is not going to happen only within the department. And specifically with respect to architecture, we have building materials and construction as a subject where you get to go around the campus, learn a lot, and then come back. So the campus in itself facilitates a lot of things for you to study, since the field is architecture. I think you will be able to relate to what I'm trying to tell. So with this, without taking any further time, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences. And I wish all the students a very good luck for the upcoming examinations and personal interviews. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for being with us in this session. I would like to call upon another pillar of SRM. It's none other than Professor Roshan Ara. She completed her postgraduate from School of Architecture and Planning at University. She has 13 years of academic experience and 15 years of industrial experience. Her design expertise has been across hospitals, interiors, offices, restaurants, on and on, etc. She also specializes in project management. Her design showcases sustainable architecture. We'd like to hear a few words from you, ma'am. Roshanara, ma'am, please.
Thank you for the kind introduction. Hope I'm audible?
Very much, ma'am.
Okay. Very good morning to all young architecture aspirants here. When you listen to Prashant, who is an alumnus of this institution, actually you heard it from the horse's mouth. Who better can tell you about this institution than a person who has gone through education here, isn't it? So I think he actually, conveyed the advantages of this institution in a nutshell. But I would like to share with you my perspective as a teacher, about the advantages of this institution with you. I have been associated with this institution as a full-time faculty, and sometimes, because I'm also in the industry and I'm practicing, so sometimes, on and off as a visiting professor as well, I have been associated with this institution. And, to the best of my knowledge, it is one of the best that you can actually look for in architectural education. So, I would like to just tell you a few advantages which we have here. Okay. So, the primary goal of SRM School of Architecture and Interior Design is to prepare our students to face the challenges in the field as future professionals. This we do with an in-depth understanding of architecture as a subject and as a profession, because we have here a mix of both academics and professionals who actually help you to bridge the gap between practice and theory. Okay, that is very important when you do a professional course. And I just like to tell you another thing that is As most of you may be aware, architecture is a multidisciplinary field bridging the gaps between art, engineering, and technology. Many of you here who are aspiring to become architects may not have a very strong leaning towards engineering, nor a very strong leaning towards fine arts, but are interested in both. I think that is what actually brings you here to actually look for a career in architecture, isn't it? So that having said that, I just like to say, see, what the advantage in being an architect is, since it actually bridges this gap between art, engineering, and technology, as I told you, the opportunities are much more than engineering. If you have a liking or an inclination or a very strong penchant towards art, then you can probably contribute as the creative part of architecture, to the creative part of architecture. While if you are an architect with a very analytical or technological bent of mind, then actually you can contribute as a technologist, as innovating things in this particular field of architecture. Okay, so it is very dynamic. This profession is very dynamic, and therefore it provides every kind of a person an opportunity to contribute in his or her own way to the field. Okay, so the other main thing is, see, as I was just telling you, you may be required to contribute to one of or more of these fields, depending on your personal inclination and potential. Okay, so but the thing is, this is not static. At one point of time, you may have to be very creative, come up with very creative designs. But in your own career, if you notice, since it's a blend of all these, but you will also have to probably, chip in as, as a technologist, and then, help your client in deciding certain, taking certain decisions with relation to what kind of a technology can be applied in that particular project which you're working on. So you will have to, play this such a dynamic role as, all these, as I was just mentioning. So depending on whichever role you have to play in that particular juncture, you have to mold yourself. Okay, so the thing is, this makes, this particular requirement makes the architectural education very challenging, as we have to focus parallelly on all the varied interconnected disciplines. So how our school meets this challenges through, first of all, through its comprehensive curriculum. So we have a curriculum which actually encompasses all the subjects which you are likely to, apply in your field. And we keep on updating this curriculum to keep in line with the changing needs of the field, the industry. Okay, so that is how, we keep going. And every time a generation of architects come out of this institution, they are updated to meet the requirements of the industry as they will be even getting out of the institution. Okay, so that is one thing. And so one is the curriculum, and the second thing is the teachers, which which is a major strength in our institution. And our teachers have expertise as well as qualification, that is specialization in disciplines including architecture, fine arts, planning, interior and product design, landscaping, project management, etc. Of course, you may wonder how an architect can be molded to be a project manager. So I like to tell you that, to begin with, designing by itself is a decision-making process. You are given options in which you have to weigh the pros and cons and come up with a decision. That is what designing is. The decision may be related to aesthetics or function or structure or anything else. So ultimately, it's a decision-making process. So you will be bringing together various parameters, requirements, and criteria, and then take decisions. So the point is, architects become naturally good decision makers, which is a very important trait for project managers. And in addition to that, we also impart the skills that is required, skills like the software, etc., and I would say the formal knowledge that is required to take up a skill a course like that also. So advantages, we prepare you for any kind of career that you may face, you may be required to take, and then face the challenges dynamically. So the other interesting thing is, we also encourage our students to explore their personal strengths. Now, as I was telling you, Some of you may have, you have taken up this course, or you decided to take up this course because you are aspiring, you have an inclination to both art as well as technology and engineering. Now, having done that, so some of you may be more interested in art, some of you may be more interested in technology, some of you may be, excellent managers with good interpersonal skills and things like that. So the thing is, we help you, we give you an absolute free hand and help you explore your own strengths and potentials. So what is important is this particular field being very competitive, you have to carve a niche for yourself. That is very important. So you can, of course, you have to actually don all these roles, but you will also have to carve a niche for yourself if you want to establish yourself as a professional. That is one thing. So this is how we are actually meeting the academic challenges. Now, the other advantage is, being a part of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. You must be aware that SRM is a part of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology in this SRM University. Now, being a part of this faculty gives us another added advantage, because see how we do is, we, and in all the departments in this particular Faculty of Engineering and Technology, we work together like species in an ecosystem. Okay, we share a relationship with other allied departments. Now, you being science students, I don't have to explain what a symbiotic relationship is. So a symbiotic relationship, as you know, actually has sharing, a mutual sharing of knowledge and resources. In here, what I mean by symbiotic relationship is, we share knowledge and resources mutually to each other's advantage. So we are mutually beneficial. That relationship is mutually beneficial. So I'm calling it symbiotic. So while our school enjoys functional independence as well as spatial independence to a desired degree, this collaborative learning gives our students an opportunity to learn the subject holistically and work with allied experts as it is done in a professional practice. Now, if you go out to practice as an architect, you realize that it is not a single discipline or a unidisciplinary field. What you'll have to do is, you have to interact and collaborate with structural engineers, electrical and mechanical engineers, even legal professionals, and such people, marketing managers, etc., etc. So the thing is, this you have to understand how another allied professional works. So that you have to understand, and what is their relevance in your field, that you have to understand. If you understand these things, you can work very well as a team member. Okay. So here again, this being a part of this Faculty of Engineering and Technology gives you this advantage, because as you're studying it, you get exposed to what others or what other professionals are doing and how they can contribute to enhance your profession. That you get a thorough understanding and insight into in this particular institution. And apart from these couple of things, I'd like to tell you that we have a very, very good locational advantage. That is, our institution has a very good locational advantage. So being close to Chennai, which is a major metro, and well connected with it by road and rail, okay, gives our school this locational advantage that I was talking about, which is a must for an architectural institution. See, architectural education is unique, very unique, in that it cannot be imparted purely from a classroom environment or a small laboratory. Our built environment is a live lab for students to study architecture. As Prashant was telling you, while the campus itself provides, interesting buildings and, state of the art which have actually applied state of the art technology, but still we don't have all the building typologies within our campus. So we are dependent. We are dependent on the metro, which is close by, the metropolis, which is close by, to study, different types of buildings of varying genres and
excuse me, ma'am.
varying genres. Yes. Varying genres and scales. So that is very important, because you have to go to these buildings. You have to appreciate them. You have to experientially. You will have to appreciate them. You will have to appreciate the scale, form, and the functioning of these buildings experientially. So being close to a city like Chennai with all this opportunity gives you that advantage, in that you can use the city itself as a live laboratory.
Yes, ma'am.
Important.
Thank you.
And the other thing I have to tell you is, having said that, while I told you that, you know, we are close to the city and, you know, that gives us an advantage, but we are also a little farther away from the city. And that is very, very another added advantage, because we can reach the city in a short time. At the same time, a distance from the city keeps us insulated from the environmental pollution of the city. Okay. So we have the best of both worlds. We have a literally green campus.
Ma'am,
We are actually running short of time. I'm very sorry.
I'm just finishing it. While we have a literally green campus with good infrastructure and an abundance of open spaces, complementing with the built environment. So these, along with the other advantages I have highlighted, make the students spend our time with the school in a most enjoyable, memorable, and fruitful manner. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I know we could have to, we would love to hear a lot from you. We definitely do catch up again. Today, since we are running on a very tight schedule with other PhD and MR things.
Sorry, I was not told about that. I'm very sorry.
No problem, ma'am. It was actually, we also were enjoying your experience thought process, which we could.
You know, I'm very sorry if I've taken more of your time. Anyway, thank you.
No, absolutely not. There are lots of
students. I hope to see all of you, some of you at least.
Yes.
Bye-bye until then. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and bye-bye everybody. Meet you sharp at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you so much.